Hello dear students, welcome back in biology class. So today's class we discussed about the another very important concept that's related to the adaptations of organisms. In previous classes we discussed about the major important concepts which takes place in the biotic components, abiotic components and response to the abiotic components, how these organisms are given. So based on that concept, in the response we are categorized as a some important methods. Those are nothing but regulators are there, partial regulators, conformers, migrations and suspensions. In the suspensions you are discussed about the main important concept is that estivation and hibernation. These states, those are all a general concepts and you must be concentrate on what I told, the important questions, important points in those concepts. Like that, the another very easiest concept in today's class, that's nothing but adaptations. What is this adaptations? Already you know that the organisms which are adjusted to the climatic condition, that is called as adapting. How the climatic condition will be changes, nothing but fluctuated. Based on that we are also becoming adjusted. That adjusted have something in our body, internal body mechanisms. Based on that internal body mechanism behavior, we are going to adjust it to the climatic conditions. So that's way, come here they are given so many examples are there for adaptations. We must be going to discuss. And remember, before we are going to discuss about the adaptations, these adaptations points will be asked you in the examination corner based on the give reason question, that's we called as a WHY question or why questions, and some examples asked in NEET level also. Must be remember here examples play very important role in examination corner. Let us start what's going on about the adaptations. See the first definition of adaptations, any attribute of the organisms that enables the organisms to survive and reproduce in its habitat. Why we are adjusted to the climatic conditions? There is the one question will be there. Why? How? So that should be have a one theme, one reason is there. That reason must be a survival. So according to the Darwinism, you must remember survival of the fittest or struggle for existence. If you want to exist, we must be struggle along with the climatic conditions. That's climatic condition nothing but abiotic factors. Survival of the fittest. If we are fit, our body internal mechanism is fit, then external mechanism is it's also becoming fit. So based on that conditions, we must be fit, we must be survive, we must be go reproduction, we must be get the food. Because of these all reasons, we go for adjusting with the climatic conditions. Any attribute, they are going to give here word. What is that attribute? That attribute based on the morphological, based on the physiological internal mechanism, or based on the behavioral. These all three attributes play very important role in the adjustment of organisms to the climatic conditions. Morphologically, we must be fit morphologically. Physically, it's called. Physiologically, meaning is that our internal mechanism, internal temperature, that's we call it is a homeostatic condition. So that also become a fit. Our organs, all type of the organs, hormone mechanisms, enzymes mechanisms, if these are all play in a good way, then our internal mechanism, physiological condition is become good. and based on that conditions our behavior also become a changes to the abiotic components, to the climatic conditions. So that's way any attribute of the organisms that enables, that increases, that enables the organism to survive and reproduce in its habitat. Habitat nothing but a place, whether it is the aquatic habitat or terrestrial habitat or arboreal, aerial habitat, any place you can take, that organism must have the fit. Then only it's undergoing to the very important one living property. What is that? Reproduction. Reproduction, and then only it's going to survive. So this is the definition of the, what is that? Adaptations. Next, the ultimate aim of all adaptation. What is the main important aim, important theme of adaptations? Is to make the individual fit. This is the very important point. Make the individual fit to obtain food and space for its survival. So already I told you what is the main theme, main concept of adaptations. That individual become a fit in all angle, in the angle of morphological, in the angle of physiological, that's the internally, and in the angle of behavioral. It must be fit. Any temperature condition, any water deficiency, the organism fit to its habitat, then only it's called as a adapting. If suppose in last class we discussed about the one concept, what is that? Migration. What's that migration? The organisms move from one place to the another place. Move from one place to the another place. For which purposes? For the purpose of one thing, climatic condition is not good in that habitat, or another one is that for breeding condition, that's we call it as a reproduction, or food, or space. Due to these drawbacks, then organisms are going to move from one place to the another place. Then you only going to told me whether we are called it is a adaptations. No, this one we are not called as a adaptation. Why, dear students? Means adaptation, the main aim is that to make the individual fit to obtain food, space for its survival. It must be a fit in that habitat only. 12 months only it must be fit, because seasonal migrations also coming. So due to that condition, you must remember, in that situation we are not called it is a adaptation. Migration is not a adaptation. Suspension is an adaptation. Why? Means suspension, in the suspension they must be suspended in their habitat. Any fluctuation is going on about the temperature or water or heat, anything, the organism must have the some different roles to act against the that climatic conditions. So due to that reason, suspension is called as a adaptation, but migration is not an adaptation. So that's way fit to obtain food and space for its survival. Space meaning is that area. It must be have the area, big area for big animals, small area for small animals. That's enough for them to surviving, to become a fit. That is the main aim of the, what is that? Adaptations. So this is the main introductory concept about the adaptations. Then come, we are discussed about what is that? Examples. What are those examples they are given in this adaptations concept? First example is that, see, in the absence of external surface water, if suppose there is no water on the land surface, then what happens? They are given an example. The kangaroo rat, which is present in North American desert, is capable of meeting all its water requirements through its internal fat oxidation, in which water is an byproduct. When it going to take a water drink first time, it must be have the storage of that water condition. So this is the best example for camel also. In the camel, that's also present in which area? Desert area. In that the small animals, the small organism, what is that? Kangaroo rat. Kangaroo rat and camel, what are they going to do if there is the deficiency of water takes place? So those organisms want to fit in their habitat, they have a different internal mechanisms of their body conditions. So like that, what they going to do? Meeting all its water requirements through internal fat oxidation. Internal fat oxidation. The fat content is there present in their body. That fat undergoes to the degradation. From that oxidation, the water will go into removing. That's method will be going on in the where? In the camel and in the kangaroo rat, in which water is become the second product, secondary product, nothing but a byproduct. Primary product as a drinking, that should be stored in their body. That body becomes almost all the storage of water, and when in which condition they are going to again reuse of that water, that's during this condition when there is a deficiency of water takes place. When there is a deficiency of water, this camel and kangaroo rat make it as an byproduct. So because of surviving, just think about dear students here how the adapting is going on. It's not migrate from one place to the another place. It's not goes. It must be take its own idea to how to generate this water. How I am going to surviving. So because of these reasons, in kangaroo rat and in camels, same process is going on, that is called as a internal fat oxidation. So this method is for the surviving of desert animals or desert organism. This is the first example. What is that? Based on the adaptation condition. Come to the second example. What is that? The mammals living in colder climates. Just think about here, one season is coming. What is that? The more cold climates. That is the polar areas, polar regions. Colder climates have shorter ears and limbs to minimize heat loss. Just think about those animals which are present in desert area have some mechanism to use water as an byproduct. But those are present in polar areas. Polar areas nothing but it is a more cold areas. The temperature should be become as a 0 degree Celsius. In those ice related, ice condition areas, how these organisms are adapted. Just take off our examples of human beings. If suppose we go these two conditions, what is that condition? The first condition should be a desert, second condition should be a almost all in which areas? Colder areas. Whether we are going to adapt it? Just think. Because we are having a same body modifications. If suppose we go for the anywhere in colder climates or in desert areas, more hot temperature, our body parts are not going to changes. Our body parts are same, the position will be same, there only organs are present. Then what happens about us? Then we are not adjusted to the less than 10 degrees Celsius temperature or 5 degrees Celsius temperature, or it goes to the more than 45 degrees Celsius temperature. Then it's very critical condition to the us. Then we are going to do only one method, that is called as a migration. But leave the human beings, come to here organisms, how they are having modifications. So the mammals which are present in the colder climates have the one modification is there, that is called as a ears are become very short and limbs are also becoming short, not as this much of big limbs as a hand and legs. Those are becoming very small. Due to that conditions, what's going on? To minimize heat loss. Why like that modified going on? To minimize the heat loss. Easily they are become the heat, temperature, body temperature is becoming loss. Due to that conditions, they are having a shorter ears and shorter limbs. So, due to these purposes, they must be adjusted to the which condition? Polar condition. If the example like a camel, you can take a camel into the polar ears, whether it is adjusted? No. The camel must be adapted to the desert area, more temperature areas. The small ears and limbs type of organisms must be adjusted to the polar regions. Due to this type of the modification, the some organisms are which are present in the climatic conditions, they must have the, what is that? Small ears and limbs. If it is big, then heat production is required more. If it is required more means then it is not surviving in ice areas. So, due to that reasons, ears are become small, limbs are become small, then it is not required more heat, temperatures, then in that only it must be surviving to that habitat. This is one such example of the adaptation, and this method is called as a Allen's rule. Dear students, it will be very important for you as a 1 mark question and CET question. What is that? Must be noted. This is Allen's rule. What is Allen's rules? Allen's rules suggested that the mammals, the organisms which are present in colder climates have shorter ears and limbs to minimize the heat loss. So, this type of the method is given by the scientist Allen's. So, that's why it's called as a Allen's rules. This is very important examination corner question. Okay. Then come to the third example. Third example is related to the plants. Those plants which are present in the desert area. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಮರುಭೂಮಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಸಸ್ಯಗಳು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಅಡಾಪ್ಟೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಹೊಂದಿರ್ತವೆ, ಮಾಡಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್, ಹೌ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಟು ದಿ ಡೆಸರ್ಟ್ ಏರಿಯಾ. ವಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ animal, but come to in plants. Already you know that the best example, the plants which are present in the deserts are called as a cactus plants or opensia we called. ಓಕೆ, ಪಾಪಸ್ ಕಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀರಿ ಅಥವಾ ಜೇಡೆ ಕಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಆ ಥರನಾದಂಥ ಸಸ್ಯಗಳು ನಾವು ತುಂಬಾ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಇನ್ ದ ಡೆಸರ್ಟ್ ಏರಿಯಾಸ್. ವೈ those plants only present in desert area? This is also present in the some land surfaces like a aquatic areas also, but those plants are developed in water deficiency condition also. So those plants we call it is a xerophytes. What we call those plants which are developed, which are grow in less water concentration, those are called as a xerophytes. And the another type of the plants are called as a hydrophytes. Here the water content, the water deficiency requires, water content is required more. So those are called as hydrophytes and xerophytes. Xerophytes basically we are going to see in which areas? Desert areas. Then come, what is their modification is going on? The first modification in that, thick cuticle on their leaf surfaces. Yeah, they are also having a leaves, because leaves play very important role in the photosynthesis process. Okay na? So that's why in that leaves there is the cuticle, that is the external covering part, that's we call it as a skin. In leaf it's become as a external covering, we call it as a cuticle. That cuticle is become very thick thick cuticle, because if it is required more and more water means that cuticle part is becoming very thinnest one. That's we see in our plants which are present in the more water areas. There is the thin cuticle is present. Here the thick cuticle on their leaf surfaces, that cuticle part, thick cuticle region will be responsible for the photosynthesis in which plants? Deserts conditions, desert plants. And second one, then those plants which are present in the deserts possess sunken type of the stomata. That stomata not required more water. Basically stomata are very tiny particles. These are look like as the kidney shaped structures. Which shaped structures? Kidney shaped, and these two are called as guard cells, like this. The kidney shaped structures we call it, these are all the, so this is almost a stomatal pore, and these are having some cells, stomatal cells. These cells are responsible for the absorption of the water, and this stomata, it is a tiny particle which is responsible for the transpiration, photosynthesis, respiration, which is takes place in the plants. So that's why these have a very important functional unit of plant. What is that? Stomata. So this stomata must be have the absorption of water, but it must a complete structure. It must be modified as a complete structure, then only it's going to responsible for the absorption. But this same stomata which is present in desert plants, it is not that much of capable of water. So that type of the stomata we call it is a sunken stomata. Due to the deficiency of water, this type of modification helps for the transpiration, photosynthesis and respiration in which type of the plants? Desert plants. So that's why these possess a sunken type of the stomata. This is such a modification. Then come to the third one, leaves are reduced to spines. This is commonly we know that. You also understood about this concept, how the leaves are reduced as a spines, and these spines will be responsible for the photosynthesis. So this is the such a common modification method which takes place in the deserts. How the leaves are look like? Leaves are look like as a needle-like structures. Those needle-like structures we call it is a spines. So this is the way this modification is going on in the desert plants. Then come to the next example. That example related to the another such a type of the microorganisms as a molecules, we called it is a archaebacteria. So this archaebacteria is commonly called as a ancient bacteria. Students must be remember the importance of this archaebacteria. Archaea means it is a star shaped bacteria. See, first sentence we are going to discuss. Archaebacteria have to survive at temperature more than 100 degrees Celsius. Just you must be wonder about this concept. We are not survive more than 40 degrees Celsius. Just one smallest molecule, smallest microorganism which cannot be seen by the naked eye. That type of the organism, it must be survive more than 100 degrees Celsius. This type of the temperature will be present in the thermoreactor, bioreactors are there. The thermal power plants we called. There they are using this much, but no any kind of organism will be present, surviving. So in that situation, such a type of the bacteria will be survive, that is called one such a type, that is archaebacteria. This archaebacteria is commonly called as a oldest bacteria or also called as a ancient bacteria. It contains three types of the bacteria in the archaea. The first we called it is a methanogens, and second one is that thermoacidophiles, and third one is that halophiles. These are the three different types of the bacteria. Those are examples of the which one? Archaebacteria. How these are different in the Archaebacteria means, just think about the one bacteria that's we call it is a methanogens. These methanogens are extremely present in more cold conditions. Yeah, it must be a ice. In the ice, ಮಂಜುಗಡ್ಡೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಮಂಜುಗಡ್ಡೆ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅಥವಾ ಮಂಜುಗಡ್ಡಿನಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅಥವಾ 0 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸಿಯಸ್ ಟೆಂಪ್ರೇಚರ್ಗಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾಗಳು ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಆ ಥರನಾದಂಥ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲಿರ್ತವಂತ ದೋಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಮಿಥನೋಜನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ thermoacidophiles. As you know that the example is that more than 100 degree Celsius temperature. ಸೊ ಆ ಥರನಾದಂಥ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? thermoacidophiles. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಹಾಟ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್, ಹಾಟ್ ರೀಜನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾಗಳು ಯಾವುವು? ಥರ್ಮೋ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಟೆಂಪ್ರೇಚರ್, ದ ಮೋರ್ acidic ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್. In acid, in more temperatures, those type of the bacteria will be present, are called as a thermoacidophiles. Then another example is that halophiles. These halophiles are present in more salty areas, salinity, salt content. ತುಂಬಾ ಉಪ್ಪಿನಂಶ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾಗಳು ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಆ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ halophiles. See the modification, dear students. How the modified bacteria is the only one microorganism, but it have a different type of the mechanism to adjusting their habitat condition. For which purposes? For the purpose of survive. For the purpose of survive, it must be have the fitness in different ways. Like that, the best example is that Archaebacteria. Okay, so this is the idea about the Archaebacteria. Then come to the another example, we can go into see what is that. That is based on the altitude sickness. It's also one such a type of the concept we must be have. What type of this sensation is we are having means when we go higher and higher and higher altitudes. Downside is latitudes. From the latitudes to the altitudes, we go higher and higher. Just take about, you must be sit in one plane. That plane goes on moving from away from the land surfaces, terrestrial surfaces. It goes higher and higher altitudes. What type of the feelings you are going to get? So that feelings only we are having some sickness. Which type of the sickness? Which type of feelings? That's only called as a altitude sickness. So what's that? Come, we discuss. When human beings go from plains to high altitudes, they experience altitude sickness due to the low atmospheric pressure and oxygen availability. Then they develop the symptoms like, yeah dear students, must be have some this type of the feelings. What's that? We go higher means we have suffering from some different type of the conditions. What's that conditions? We have a experience altitude sickness due to the low atmospheric pressure. That's obviously correct. How you go above and above, high and high, the oxygen content is become a decreases and atmospheric pressure also become a decreases. Low atmospheric pressure and oxygen availability. Then what you going to do? Then immediately we are going to take the oxygen mask for surviving. Just think about, we are going to take a one artificial method of that mask, but not that modification which takes place in our internal body. But before that we are getting the examples in all organisms, they must be have the modifications. Okay, are you understood about this concept? They must have the modification to survive, but we not. We have a one artificial modifications. That artificial modification nothing but a mask. So that's way, if we are not going to get that mask immediately, which type of the symptoms we are going to get? That's we call it is a fatigueness. Sometime we are become as a hungriness like that, and next nausea, some bad feelings, bad type of the feelings, that's we call it is in Kannada vakarike, as nothing but vomiting sensations. That's next one is that heart palpitations. Heart totally becomes more fast, it becomes as a sounded, that breathing rate will become more, heart palpitation, and gradually that time breathing rate is become more, gradually see body gets adjusted. If we are getting the oxygen contents or mask by artificial we are adapted means, then how the body is going to modified? The body adjusted by increasing RBCs and breathing rate. This is very important concept, the RBCs and breathing rate. We require this one when we go and higher altitudes. If we are not getting that one means it's very critical to us. That RBC production will be going to increases, automatically oxygen capacity also becoming increases, gradually breathing rate also become increases. Then our body is adapted to that higher altitudes. Due to these reasons, this is also such a type of the adaptations that is called as a altitude sickness. Altitudes gradually, how we are become gradually our body getting the, what is that? Increasing the RBC productions and breathing rate. Then automatically we are adjusted to that climatic conditions. So these are all the examples of what is that? Adaptations, and this is the concept of adaptation, dear students. In next class we go for the another new important concept. Okay, thank you.